What's going on, everyone? Hope you're all having an incredible day. My name is Dan. This is my trading channel where I share with you the trades I'm making, why I'm making them, and what I think is going to happen in the cryptocurrency market. Let's dive right into it. So I want to share with you the SRK, what the chart's been doing, kind of what we've been doing. So I've been playing this range all the way down. I bought when it dipped down here. I bought a bunch, and I got a bunch of sells on, and then when it came back down here, I bought back in too. And I pretty much sold 3 million SRK in this pump, and I have another 7 million to sell if it goes higher too as well. So I have buys layered down, and I think I currently have I bought another million coins when it came down and it dipped right here. I bought a million, and so bought another million. So yeah, it's looking really great because the chart keeps going up. So it was down here, did this massive pump up, came back down here. We pumped up, and the range was significantly higher than this range, and so now we're ranging up again. So we could see a range that's up here again, and we keep the pump and the spikes keep going up higher and higher and higher, which is exactly what we want to see when we're going long on a coin. We want to see that it's moving up incrementally so that we can continue to play the ranges up higher, because that means that the coin is overall it's going up, and that is a good thing for us because that means that if we have a significant amount of our portfolio in this project, it's going to continue to go up as the coin goes up. So this is really good for us. We've been seeing significant growth in our portfolio just by playing this one chart and just by having it going up and up and up. So I came across this interesting article that says why governments are afraid of Bitcoin. And I want to really dive right in because I think that this matters most right now in the current economic climate, the current political climate that we're currently in. I would say that we're basically in political civil war. We have two opposing sides that they each want power. One side really wants power, and they seem to be willing to go at any distance to gain control and power of the government. And when you see something like that, a party that really wants to have one rule government, so you really have to be careful because there are so many stipulations on Americans as it is. Like our tax codes is pretty much draconian. The fact that if you move anywhere in the world, you can still continue to have to pay taxes to the United States. That's pretty crazy, but that's how it is right now in the United States. Also, they have been cracking down on Bitcoin ATMs. They've made it to where you have got to tell the government, did you purchase Bitcoin or did you sell Bitcoin? And I remember back in the day when you could go to a Bitcoin ATM when I bought Bitcoin for $300 the first time. And you could just buy Bitcoin with cash and you didn't have to KYC. You didn't have to tell anybody. Now, if you go to an ATM, a Bitcoin ATM, you have to do KYC. You have to tell them who you are. So you could see that the government is continuing to close the gap of people that can get Bitcoin. And I believe, depending on what political party gets power, they will try to completely squash that gap to keep people out of cryptocurrency. And if you look at New York State, the BIT license. So if you are a company, when you accept Bitcoin, you have to pay a bunch of money to New York State to get the BIT license. That is just a preview of really what the kind of, I think, measures that they will start to crush and basically get people that are in Bitcoin, get them out so that they're in the fiat system. Because the government needs people to be in the fiat system. If people use Bitcoin instead of the US dollar, that threatens the power of the United States government. They need people to need the United States dollar. So they don't really need you to pay your taxes because they can just edit their bank account, but they need there to be demand for the US dollar. So they print it, they send it out, and they need people to get that money, collect it, and bring it back in the form of taxes. That's why they don't accept taxes in Bitcoin or any other currency. It has to be the United States dollar. They want to make sure that you're collecting the money like a good boy or girl, and you're bringing it back to them to continue to drive demand for the US dollar. That's why they're afraid of Bitcoin, because if the demand for fiat money decreases, that takes away all the government's power. If you think about it, the government wants to wage a war, right? Or fund some other stupid thing. They don't send you a bill for it because they're not going to be able to get people to spend, $900 a month on this war that that's only politically motivated and that you have no interest on. No one's going to pay that. No one's going to pay that. So what did they do? They print the money and they steal it from you in the form of inflation. So if you saved up $100,000, they're not going to ask you for a part of that $100,000 to finance the war. They're just going to print it out of inflation, finance the war through the money printing, and then they're just going to steal it from you from inflation. So if there was no demand on dollars and everyone used crypto and no one used dollars, they would have to politely ask you, hey, we're thinking about funding this project. Would you be able to put some money into it? Like that's what they would have to do if Bitcoin becomes mainstream. They would have to politely ask people for money, and that scares the crap out of them. Think about it. They are in a system where they pretty much have full autonomy. They can do whatever they want. They can print as much money as they want to, and they don't have to ask you for anything. They don't have to ask permission from anybody. So when we are moving into basically a possibility where one party that wants to be, that's basically socialist, let's just say what it is, democratic socialist, they even say it, that wants to be socialist, they absolutely have got to maintain control of the demand for the US dollar. They have got to. The reason is because they want to finance they want to finance education for all and all of these social projects. If there's no demand for the dollar, how are they going to finance it? They can't. So what they need to do is they need to squash Bitcoin, but they can't squash it, and they know that. So what they can do is they can drive fear into the hearts of people who have it. Like, if you have this, it's illegal, and you're a terrorist, and blah 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 and blah 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 and, blah, and all this stuff. They can say all these things to you to make you basically give your Bitcoin to them. So I think that they're collecting information on who has bought and sold Bitcoin, so that when they do go to potentially confiscate it, they'll know exactly who to go to. So keep that in mind. I think it's extremely important in this current political climate. But yeah, that's all for today. Why governments are afraid of Bitcoin. I will be talking to you all later. Until next time, peace.